Hello, good morning. Say good morning.
Good morning.
So, who are we talking to?
The world.
The world. Da, da, da.
Facebook. The World Wide Web.
That's awesome. Very cool. Well, good morning, everybody. We're going to have a guest here with us, possibly for most of the week. You willing to kind of do the week?
Possibly.
Possibly. Why? I mean, come on, a little more commitment than that. Come on. Why?
Because I like to sleep in sometimes.
Because now you have to speak up, okay? You got to project because you're getting
Yes,
all quiet, all right? So you got to make sure you throw your voice out there. But no, I just wanted to, I asked Caleb late last night to come join me this morning because him and I have been kind of having a conversation about young men. But I thought it also might be interesting, Caleb. I didn't know, did you know, Caleb, there is a revival going on amongst your age group? Did you know that? Were you aware
sir.
of that?
Just in Tennessee right now.
In Tennessee, what do you mean?
With the big Baptist church.
Oh, got you. You mean with Asbury? Now that was Methodist, not Baptist.
Never
But yeah,
mind.
no, it's all good. But no,
Got
it's
mixed up.
no, it's all good. I mean, one of the mainline denomination organizations. Everybody's probably have heard of what's going on in Asbury at the Asbury Revival. Now it has spread here into Samford University. I've heard it's at Texas A&M and Lee. Now there is Lee University in Tennessee is also there. I mean, and I was actually talking last night too with some friends of ours who live in Tennessee, up in Johnson City area, and they were saying a revival happened amongst their young people at their church just this last week.
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
That is
So
cool.
so God, our Heavenly Father, is doing something in the younger generation of like 13 to early 20s. So right at your, because how old are you now?
13.
You're 13, so right there. So you're at the beginning age of this, 13 to age, say, let's just say 25 for sake of a nice number. And so there's really a move of God that is happening amongst people of your age.
Wow.
What you think? So again, now this is
not
very
normal right now.
It's not normal right now. So this is a very impromptu conversation. So Caleb is probably this is not your most favoriteest thing to do, right?
Most definitely.
So he's probably our most camera shy Holloman. Is that right?
Not camera shy, just I don't like talking about the uncomfortable subjects. But
Gotcha.
this is not an uncomfortable
It's not an uncomfortable subject. Very good. Well, we're also trying to help you grow. But what do you think about that when you hear that all around, and they say too, it's actually beyond the United States that this is showing up. We have friends in Thailand who are talking about it happening there. There are people in other countries that are reporting the same, if you will, the same revival spirit happening in young people all over the world. God is moving in your generation, boys and girls 13 to 25. So when you hear that, what are your thoughts on that?
That they should be doing that more often.
They should
have done that earlier too.
Well, I mean, you think so?
Yes, sir.
Well, can you make that happen though?
No.
No, you can't make it happen, right? So the revival kind of stuff, that is truly something that God is orchestrating and God is doing. But I guess what I wanted to talk about with Caleb, with you this week, today for sure, but hopefully more in the week we can get on here and as you process more, is what are your thoughts on this? But as you and I have talked, because I've asked, let me back up a little bit. I'm sorry, I'm kind of rambling. But back in December, I don't know if I told you, did I tell you had a dream with you in the dream?
No, sir.
So
you do have a lot of dreams. So.
Well, I do. I don't remember many of them, but because I sleep really sound. But in December, I had a dream, and you were in the dream, and you were there. So I knew it was a dream about you, but I also knew it was a dream about the same generation. And this would have been early December, like the second week of December, and in the dream there was a struggle going on for your generation that you represented, for your engagement with the things of God and your engagement in life itself.
Yes, sir.
Right? And kind of you. So I knew it was a dream that had to do with you, but I also knew it was a dream that had to do with your generation. And I think God was getting me ready as a pastor for what's unfolding and what's going on now with this revival that's moving. But that, remember, and that's when you and I had a conversation, the beginning conversation of what would it look like to engage young people of your age, and especially young men, to engage you guys in life. Not just church life, if you will, or not just a faith life only, but to engage you in life.
You would probably have to encourage them to get a job first. That would be the first step.
First step, get a job.
Because that's going to help them a lot with knowing how to work in the world and learn how to handle their money and different stuff like that. So that would be a great way to engage with life if you encourage them to get a job.
Gotcha. So words from Caleb is to
get a job.
Get a job. I like that.
Make some money.
Make some money. Gotcha. So get a job. The words of like. So that's cool. So why do you think young people they don't get a job?
Because some young people are just lazy and they don't want to.
Well, some people are, but do you think? Wait a minute. Do you think that's all of them?
No, sir.
No. What do you think us as parents we could do to help that? What could we do to help it, and how are we hurting maybe our young people getting a job?
Like if you own a business, you can have them come work for you for a while. That way you're supervising them and they're working under you and making money, and it's actually easier so that y'all can drive to work together and different stuff like that.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
So kind of like, so if you have something, and bring you guys in on it.
Yes, sir.
Right. So now do you like that? Like, do you like that kind of engagement?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I mean, because you worked with me when I did handyman and work.
Yes, sir.
And you've gone, like we went the other day, you went and helped us for free. You ended up showing up at the copper train where I work. And what'd you do for free all afternoon?
Mopped floors and washed the dishes.
You mopped floors and you were glad to do it. Were you happy? So why were you happy to be there doing that?
Because I knew it was helping them out a lot.
You knew it was helping them out. So, okay, so you feel like you want to be contributory.
Yes, sir.
Right. What else? What else did you like about being there at the copper train and mopping and washing dishes?
I like their dishwasher. It's fast.
Well, what are you about? So tell our people, they don't know what's about the dishwasher.
It can wash dishes in under a minute. It's very fast and it's very nice, and it's really satisfying to pull the lever and press the button. So
to pull the lever down and it closes the door and to hit the button and.
Yes, sir.
Very good. So you like that sense of accomplishment, that you're doing something.
Yes, sir.
That you're helping, that you're inputting into a business and helping it better.
Yes, sir.
Is that right? So, I guess as we talk about this, I'm just looking to say, so in life, the invitation to come and help is important.
Yes, sir.
So now with your friends and the friends that you have in your world, at your homeschool co-op and at church, would you say most of them have the same thing? Do they feel like they're helping and they're involved in a bigger world than just their school or just the regular activities?
Some of them do, but some of them don't want to help, so they don't really think that's important. So.
Some of them don't want to help. Gotcha.
Yes, sir. Sometimes, but that makes sense because most of the time we're all tired and stuff like that after school. So.
Gotcha. They're all tired, but but. Would you say, though, for your friends, if they were invited in, they would help?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much, yes, sir.
Gotcha. So now, what about like for you? And again, I'm just talking here, and we're getting better at this as we go. Here is
right.
So how would that help you? So that's a job thing. Get a job, get them involved, get them working, get them making money. Let them see that they can do something.
And teach them how to manage money, too.
And teach them how to manage money.
That way they don't just go blow it all.
Gotcha. So what have we done to help you manage money? What has been something that...
you have to save, and tithe, and give, and then you can have some spending money.
Gotcha. So kind of like the idea of you want to have some money to give, right? You want to have some money to save, and then you have money that you can spend. So kind of like a basic... We always try to encourage you to
Or there could be two sets of spending money. So, like, you save away one side of spending money for your future, so you spend it on a car. And then the other one is just kind of fun stuff.
Just kind of fun, yeah, the little bitty buying stuff across the street at the gas station, doing fun stuff. How are you doing at that? Are you putting that in practice pretty good?
I'm saving.
You're saving, gotcha.
That's
So
pretty much it.
so the giving side is not there.
Yes, sir.
Why not?
Because I'm just trying to save as much money as
Gotcha.
possible.
So you're just trying to save as much money as
I will
possible.
probably in the future, but right now I'm just trying to put more money into my bank account. So
Gotcha. Well, now with that, speaking of it, so do you realize like if you're not giving now, do you think you'll give in the future?
not really.
Not really, right?
Yes,
That's
sir.
some of that. That's some of that stuff that okay, if I'm not willing to give the dollar now, will I give the $100 later?
No.
No. So
So $100 is just another dollar bill. So
well, $100 is just bigger, and that's part of the stuff that son. I think many people, not just your age, many people run into is the thing. Well, when I have more money, then I will give.
but they're not willing to give right now. So
They won't be willing to give then, right?
mhm.
Right. So they won't, and that's that kind of a thing. So you have to be willing to do these. It's the same things with savings. If we're not saving the $10 now, will we save the $1,000 later?
Absolutely not.
No, not at all. Right? No, it won't happen. So you have to start now. That's why we want to start that with you. So now have I told you to give?
Yes.
Have I encouraged you to? Like I really said, Caleb, you need to give.
Yes.
Yeah. Why don't you? Because I mean, I've told you. We've talked about it. We're here.
Because I like to save a lot.
Because you just like to hang on to that money.
Yes.
What can I do that would help you be more willing to give?
I don't know right now,
Okay.
but I could give like $10 or $20 to the church sometime or something like that.
Yeah, well,
that
I mean,
would be
you
a
could.
good first step.
It'd be a good first step to give to the church. It's always a great place to start. But what would help? What about your other? Because do your other friends make money? Let's talk about this. The friends in your world. How many of them are actively making money?
Like with the job or just in general?
Well, in general, like whether they've got an actual job, like what your sister does when she helps me at the copper train, and that's an actual job.
Some of them have an active job and have a lot of money coming in, or some of them just have a little bit coming in.
Gotcha.
But they still have either a little bit or a lot coming in.
So they're doing something.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. And how many of them do you know do actively give and save and all that stuff?
None of them.
None of them. Not a one that you know of.
Mhm.
And do you think that's because did their parents teach them, or do you know?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So yeah, so some of that is you don't know if their parents are engaged in giving that instruction. How many of them, if their parents are teaching them, would still do it?
Not very many.
Not
Probably.
very many.
They probably either just save or spend.
Save or spend. That's this just because they're kids, right?
Right.
They're. So how could we? And again, I use this as an example. I know we're talking about stuff, but how? So from what could be done to help that, like in a practical sense? Like, should parents just force them and make them do it?
Well, I mean, then they would probably hate having to save and spend and give. So, I
Maybe.
mean, that would work, yes, sir. But, yeah, it's going to be tough in the future because the kids might not want to do it in the future if
Gotcha.
they're not forced to.
So with that, how do we help as a dad? What's a good way for me to help you do something that you may not want to do or be inclined to do, but yet would be really good for you to do? Like, what do you think that looks like?
You could force me to do it. You
I could, yeah, but I mean, but I think I think you're onto something though, Caleb, because I mean, and we talked about this some even last night, right? That there's an aspect of being a parent where am I always going to say, oh, you don't want to do that? Oh, okay, sweet pumpkin boo boo head, you don't have to do that.
No.
Oh, you don't have to brush your teeth. I'm not going to make you.
Then your teeth are going to rot out. So.
So there's certain things that in life, and we've talked about that with it. It's part of my responsibility as your dad to say, yes, son, you're just going to do this. And I know you don't like it. I know you don't want to. I know you'd rather be doing whatever. But you're going to do this anyway.
Yes, sir.
Now, is that pleasant for you?
No, it never is.
It's
But
never
it's
pleasant.
good for you, so
Yeah.
you gotta do
Is it pleasant for me?
No, sir.
No, because I'd rather you just jump in and
Yes, sir.
want. So that's where how do we help? Because I think a lot of the life stuff is and I don't know. And again, this is a time y'all can jump in and ask questions or make comments for us as well. We want to engage with you guys because we're here practicing, Caleb and I. But I think the rub is how do we help in engaging our young people? Because there'll be things we're asking them to do that is really good for them. That as a good parent, I mean, I care about you, but at the end of the day, I need you to learn this X, whatever X is.
Yes, sir.
Right? But at the same time, you may not want to do it, but yet it's good for you and needful, like giving and saving money is good for you. It's needful for you to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we help meet in the middle where there's still an expectation from the parent side, because I need you to do something you may not want to do,
Yes.
but yet on your side as a young person,
If you're forced to have to do it, then you're not gonna want it.
yeah, there is that running risk of that, which again, we can't necessarily, I don't know. I mean, I guess what would help you with that? So what would help motivate you to give? What could I do to help motivate giving in you? And again, this is a great conversation for all the people that are out there.
Just,
Right.
I guess just motivate me every time we have giving at the church or something like that.
Okay.
That'll be a pretty good first step.
It's just to say, hey, what you going to give this Sunday?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What are you going to do? How are you going to give?
Yes, sir.
So to invite you in, and saying I'm just having some. I know Selena's watching. I like what Miss Vivian said. Parents being a good role model. So yeah. So like if I wasn't giving, but I want you to give,
Then
would that be encouraging?
no, not at all.
Now I guess do you know that your mom and I give?
I haven't seen y'all give, but I'm pretty sure you do.
Okay, so you haven't actually physically seen us, like in the sense of the act of. So that's something, say, I think we can do is to maybe help you guys see, hey, here's the tithe check. Here's what we're given. Here's,
Yes, sir.
right, here's the amount. Here's the money. Hey, let's put it in the envelope. Let's do that together. So a little bit more involvement
Yes, sir.
around the board. Because and I guess as we talk about that, because you've gone to work with me again doing handyman stuff when I did that, and now you've been with me at least once at the copper train.
Yes, sir.
Is it helpful when you know that you and I are doing the same thing?
Yeah, yes, sir.
I mean, in the sense of like you can look up and go, well, Dad's here working. So does that inspire you to work and not complain about working?
Yes, sir. Just not when you have to skip lunch, because then you're hungry. And
Not when you have to skip. Yeah, nobody likes skipping lunch.
because
I
Daddy
agree.
skips lunch all the time.
I do, because I work in the food industry and stuff. So I work in the food industry, so you don't always get to eat. You have to eat at a different time.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
And then also, I need to manage
You're
the size of my stomach. So sometimes me skipping a meal is
pretty good. for you.
good for me. Not good for you, but
Yes,
it's
sir.
because you're still growing, but it's good for me. But I think, so what about that? And we'll end because we're coming up on the end of our time. So now we've talked about that in a practical. What about that on a spiritual level? Because like when you think, we're talking about revival and things going on in the hearts of young people. How many of your friends in your world would you say they see their parents engaged with God?
They do see a lot of that, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't, I don't think they try to engage with God.
The parents? Or
Not
the
the
kids?
parents, the kids. I'm sure they see their parents
Okay.
a lot, but I think they might not think it's cool if their friends see that they're actually engaging with God, or sometimes they do, but then like the week after they just stop for some reason, stuff like that.
Gotcha. Okay. So so much you think again is friends may not think.
Doing that, what their parents is doing is cool.
Gotcha. Even if it's something very good like prayer or seeking God or worship or
Yes, sir.
right, they don't. So, but when you see, so let me ask this: like when you see other young people worshiping God, does that help? Like if it's not just, okay, we see all the adults, the older people worshiping God,
Yes, sir.
but if you saw more of your age people, do you think that helps any?
That would help, yes, sir. I think that would help, but it's very rare these days. So.
Yeah, well, it's growing. I mean, again, because all of these revivals that we're talking about are happening amongst people in your age.
Yes, sir.
Right. It just may not be necessarily at this time with people that you directly see or know.
Yes, sir.
Maybe, but you're saying maybe for a lot of young people, when they actually see other young people doing it, it actually is encouraging.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Would that encourage you to do it more? Like if you...
I don't know. That's kind of a hard question.
Yeah, well, think about it.
So, probably, though, if it was somebody I looked up to.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I don't have a whole lot of real good friends that I look up to right now, so.
Okay. And why not? What's up? Why would you say that?
Well, I just don't really have any big role model friends. That's what I'm...
Gotcha. So, like, folks maybe just a little bit above you, people that you could look up to.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What would that kind of person look like? Somebody that you would look up to. Who would that look like? And I know it's not me. So
Yes,
I'm not.
sir.
This is not a baited question for you to sit there and say, "Oh, it'd be you, Dad." I mean, so I understand that, but
Yes.
I'm just saying. But for real, like, what would
I'm
that
not
kind
sure
of...
what that would look like right now because I don't really have somebody who
Okay, but
does
you
that.
kind of...
But, yeah, I mean, if I did have to take a guess, it would probably be somebody like you, but...
No, what I'm saying, like I think let's look back. So remember when some of the Karis teams came the last few times?
Yes, sir.
Has some of those folks, did they inspire you?
I mean, not really, but I also wasn't really paying attention because I was drumming a lot, so...
Well, you were drumming a lot when they were here.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. But I just remember there was the very first team that came from Colorado. There was a young man that seemed like you really looked up to him. You remember him?
Yes, sir. He was fun. I don't remember his name, but...
I don't remember his name either, but it's...
Probably
but
somebody
he was a young
like
guy
him
from
or...
Texas, right? You remember?
Yes, sir. Probably somebody like him or somebody like Sophia, too, because she's somebody that I look up to that is really good about worshiping and stuff like that. So
Gotcha.
probably somebody like
So somebody
that.
that's a little bit
But-
older.
Yes, sir. Just a little bit, though.
Gotcha. So you think, again, and some of the stuff is we're helping to do that mixing of the ages, not even just in the sense of the mixing of like younger with older, but even like you being able to be around people again. Like, so Sophia, your sister, she's like 18. I think this other young man was like 20
Yes, sir.
or 21. So you being able to be around people who are just a few years, a handful of years older than you, but they are engaged with God, that's inspiring,
Yes, sir.
right?
That would be, yes, sir. I think so.
Okay, cool. Well, that's awesome. Well, we're going to kind of land the plane right there and stuff just for time's sake. And so just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for being willing to come on. You willing to come on again another day?
Another day, yes, sir.
Another day, one more day?
But I need a day to sleep in. So.
You need the day to sleep in. Well, you and I did stay up kind of late last night, so I get that.
Yes,
so we'll have to do that. But I think so. Let's see if we recap. So some neat things in there is in life, we just need to help our young people go to work and get a job and
Yes.
begin to make money and manage it. Right. But with all of that is the involvement of parents. So when we are involved, even if we're asking you to do something you don't want to do, right, but we're there with you, but you see us, again, doing the same things, that's helpful.
Yes, sir.
And then really being a part and creating a place where you can be with people your own age,
Yes, sir.
but at the same time, you need to be with people that are a little bit older than you that would inspire you in these right directions.
Yes, sir.
Is that about the sum of what we've talked about?
Yes, sir.
So cool. Well, guys, thank y'all for watching and being here. So I want to ask you guys to send in questions. We'll probably talk more about this kind of stuff because there is truly something happening, as we all can see, in our world around young people. And I really think God is endeavoring to capture the heart of your generation. Now, you have to be willing to be captured
Yes, sir.
He's never going to force it. So you have to be willing to participate. In you, I mean you and your whole generation. But there is a group of your age group that is. But I'm just wanting us to learn here in our platform what that might look like. How could we, again, be intentional? Because the thing about revival, guys, is revivals are awesome and they do a great thing to wake people up. That's what it means to revive people.
But they need to be encouraged. So.
They need to be encouraged, but it's going to have to continue afterwards, because at some point the revival will come and it'll close, and that's not a bad thing. That's just what happens. And we need to be ready, not just to engage when the revival is happening, but we also need to be ready to learn for what do we do to then cultivate and take care of what was put in the hearts of our young people, right? Does that make sense? Because I know we've talked about past. I mean, you having these a little bit older role models are going to be very important.
Yes, sir.
Right? So those kind of things we can help. So I'm going to invite all of our people who are maybe on the older end of that, you're in your late teens, early 20s, to be mindful that younger folks that are 13, 14, they're looking up to you to show them the way, as well as they're looking up to us as parents to show the way. So anyway, cool.
Yes, sir.
So thank you. Awesome. We're going to land the plane there. You can check us out at thehollimans.com. We'd love to engage with you there. And we will talk to you guys again tomorrow. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you then. Bye. Goodbye. Very good.